Welcome to Kickin with Sensei, and today we're joined by Wing Chun practitioner Lucca D. You're very welcome, Lucca.
Really glad to be here, so thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. And if you'd just like to give the audience a little bit of background into your martial arts.
Sure, so I've been training Wing Chun since I was around 12. I think I started 12 or 13. I'm now 29. So that's been my main sort of foundation in Wing Chun training, but I've also trained a variety of other things at this point, like you do once you've been training martial arts for a while.
Excellent. And what first attracted you to Wing Chun in particular?
Well, what attracted me to Wing Chun was really when I was like 4 or 5. That sort of age, my dad just showed me Bruce Lee movies, and that's kind of, I'm sure it is for many people as well, but that's what kind of really attracted me to Wing Chun, seeing him move like that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that's kind of what kicked it off, really.
Excellent. And I know there's been a big hype in the last few years over Ip Man and the movies. Ip Man. Do you think
Mm-hmm.
that's had a big influence on Wing Chun as an art?
I think it's definitely kind of opened it up to another audience. It seems to have really, I think Wing Chun's always been quite within martial arts. If you know martial arts, Wing Chun's been a well-known martial art.
Yeah.
I think definitely the Ip Man movies opens it up to such a bigger audience of people that probably don't know martial arts so well. So they're like, okay, what's that? What's Ip Man? What is Wing Chun, and what's the sort of story behind it?
Yeah. And do you think the Wing Chun shown in the movies was quite close to the real art, or do you think it was kind of
Mm.
glorified a bit?
It is. I think it shows some of the concepts of the art. It's not like any martial art. Once you start moving with it freely, it's not so staccato. It's not so sort of linear in application,
Yeah.
in the sense of you're not so fixed when you're doing it, right? So Wing Chun, like any martial art, after it's to be applied freely from anywhere. So in a sense of maybe the practicality of the art, it probably doesn't show that as much because it's there to it shows the basic concepts of the art, and it shows a lot of the shape, you could say.
Yeah.
Um, but I'd say it's really a movie, right?
Yeah. That's
So,
it.
but it does show a lot of the core concepts of the art, and I think you can get a gist of what the art's about from watching them.
Excellent. Excellent. And it also pointed out the fact that Wing Chun was actually created for a woman or by a woman. And do you think that had an influence on basically being very adaptable to people bigger and larger than yourself, being able to take that on a self-defense kind of aspect?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the story behind Wing Chun and Moy, who was the creator who taught Yin Wing Chun, who it was named after. Yeah, it's the idea of it being quite a quick art.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just boom, boom, driving from
Yeah.
wherever you're at, bam, bam, with like throwing energy. So it's not a muscular sort of fighting, trying to outmuscle someone. Especially if someone's bigger and heavier, they're generally going to have a harder strike. So it's more an idea of what is your advantage if you are smaller. Most likely you're going to be quicker. How can you develop speed quickly? What do you target? Like in Wing Chun, our basic jab is actually an eye strike, for
Yeah.
example. So there are basics for what the art is kind of designed for, which is more for self-defense, like you're saying, someone who's probably got a strength advantage over you.
Yeah.
So you've got to use your advantages.
So speed and timing would be very important in Wing Chun then, and I know the center line theory as well is a very core
Mm-mm.
concept of it.
Yeah. So yeah, speed we get through more relaxation. So you might have probably seen people training the Sulim Tao forms, the first forms, trying to shut off our muscles. Like I was saying, that sort of idea, you can
Yeah.
just eye strikes and things like this from relaxation. And the center line theory, like you just said, that eye targeting, going straight to the target in a self-defense situation where you need to, the eyes, the nose, the chin, the throat, the solar plexus or the groin, there are main targets because that's going to give you the opportunity to either escape that situation or set up other strikes, for example. but they're some of the key concepts of Wing Chun, you know, being very direct with what you're doing. And also the other reason is if you're in a random attack, someone randomly attacks you, you don't have much time to kind of get back in control of the situation. So the idea of Wing Chun is straight away to try and be like, bam, 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 take back the initiative, take back the timing, get back ahead of timing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're on the sort of back foot.
Excellent. And you said you trained in other arts as well. And is there any art that you haven't tried that you'd like to kind of branch out and give a go to?
At this point, I think I saw you did an interview with a female teacher. I can't remember her name, the Hawaiian teacher.
Oh, Michelle Manhu.
Michelle.
Yeah.
Michelle, I'd love to go and see their art because that seems like an art that's quite special for their culture and their community. And, you know, it's something a bit different that's actually quite unique to the country as well, to Hawaii.
Yeah, as a martial artist, do you think environment plays a big part on the direction of an art from its origins now?
Yes, definitely. I mean, for example, Wing Chun, on a simple level, it's got a rich history behind it. It's traveled through Shaolin, it's traveled, you know, it's actually traveled all over the world, and also is very big in Hong Kong. So there's been different times create different necessity for the way you train it. For example, now, like Wing Chun now, I think has a broader range of what people are looking for in it. They're not looking just for, some people are looking for a self-defense aspect of it. Yeah. But I think also now people are looking at, okay, what does a martial art offer? You know, the whole mind, body, and spirit side of it as well, because I think that's more relevant. But back in the time of Ung Moi, she was fighting for her life. Yeah. Yin Wing Chun, she had to defend herself and learn to defend herself in a short space of time. So they just, obviously, it's a different sort of mentality behind your training, and yeah, so that changes the way you train. I think the necessity, and also space, like we were saying, in Hong Kong, you see wooden dummies which are famous in Wing Chun. Yeah. In Hong Kong, you're going to find them all wall mounted because there's less space. So people in Hong Kong are going to have most of them wall mounted. But if you go further out into other regions, into the more countryside, then you're going to see freestanding wooden dummies that people even have more arms and legs and they move around more, and because they can. So excellent. Things like that make a big difference.
Excellent. And do you think there's a unique mindset to training in Wing Chun?
Yeah. I do. I think Wing Chun is like for me, I can say as well, because I'm quite maybe not direct sometimes as a person, especially as in my youth, quite sort of free flowing, not had a sort of direction really. So I think the mentality behind Wing Chun is really setting an aim, setting a target, and being direct and getting towards whatever that is. And I think when you're sort of training a martial art, you always aim to embody that as well, embody whatever the mentality of the art or is teaching you, basically. So I think being the mentality of Wing Chun is really about setting your aims and working towards them, to be honest.
So goal setting would be a big thing within Wing Chun, I suppose, like, and just being direct and kind of setting goals and achieving them. And
yeah, being clear on your aims as well, you know. So in Wing Chun, a simple thing is the center line theory. That's our target. How do we get there the quickest?
Yeah.
And it's taking that and applying it to all areas of your life.
Yeah. And really, what do you think you've got out of training Wing Chun and life instead of training? Yeah.
So for me personally, I started, you know, Wing Chun at 12 or 13. I can't quite remember exactly. But at first it was the sort of one thing that I kind of stuck to. And I didn't really think about it at the time. It was only later on that you kind of think, well, why did I kind of stick to that? What's kept me there? And I can say now, like when I first took up Wing Chun, definitely as a young man, the discipline side of it was a massive impact, you know, just having somewhere, because I wasn't very disciplined as a kid. I I never really listened to no one. You know, I
Yeah.
wasn't very good in school. It wasn't really my kind of thing. I didn't really learn that way. And as soon as I went into Wing Chun, it felt like a separate space. You know, it felt like somewhere I could go and actually be just somewhere that's actually special, that's kind of different from anywhere else in my life.
Yeah.
And you know, and allow me to sort of focus in. But I realized more over time as I've got older as well, how important the simple thing of like discipline is, but also having something as your reference point, your guide as you move forward through your life. It's so important. I think actually probably many young men and many, you know, many men in general, and not just men, women as well,
Yeah.
you know, need maybe I'll not don't have that. They don't have something that just keeps them on their journey, that allows them to keep focus and keep moving sort of forward. It's really been my foundation in life,
Yeah.
basically.
I've actually found that a lot of, especially young men, that struggle to basically find their place, seem to just fall into martial arts and just develop a love for it, and it's totally against what they're used to, being so disciplined. And but it's a very interesting kind of thing to see that somebody so undisciplined finds themselves in martial arts and loving it for a lifetime. But I know technology is playing a big part at the minute, and where do you see technology taking Wing Chun in the future?
Mm, um, yeah, times have changed a lot. Like today, I've been teaching all day online. You know, it's like things have changed, and there's a lot of. It's interesting because I've been teaching now for nearly a year,
Yeah,
literally online. Like I've been teaching literally. I'm in the UK.
yeah,
It's been locked down pretty much the whole time, and pretty much I've been teaching online. And yeah, I can see that it actually allows a lot of benefit in a sense of reach to people. So this is what I found actually from technology and how it's worked with martial arts. Number one, because when I first got started teaching online, I had to move all my classes online, and I didn't know what was going to kind of happen. So
yeah,
I wasn't sure how this is going to work, but you have to adapt. You're a martial artist, you adapt for the times. People have to adapt, and that's part of it. But the first thing I can say is after years, I've seen people make loads of progress. All my students have made loads of progress.
yeah,
So I know some people say this, they say, oh yeah, but you can't learn martial arts online. What people forget is that in any martial art, you need to train a lot, and
yeah,
you need to do a lot of drilling, and you need to train a lot by discipline, so singular work as well. It's not all
yeah,
partner work.
yeah,
So I've seen my students progress, and okay, if you want a certain aspect of it, like the self-defense side, then you need to obviously work with someone as well, because you need real live shots coming in,
yeah,
and you need contact, you need to get hit, so you get that out your system, so you're not worried about that. And so there are certain aspects that you need in a martial art, but also it's opened up such a big arena to allow an avenue for people to come and train that maybe they couldn't train before. And it's really convenient for a lot of people, to be fair, as well. You
it is,
know,
yeah,
there's times when people can't get to places, but just being able to just get their screen on is actually pretty convenient for people. So it's hard to say where everything's going to go, but it is changing for sure. And there is a benefit. There is a benefit to it, and you can still progress this way in martial arts. But ultimately, martial arts is about community as well, and it's about working with people. So you have to bear that in mind as well. And martial arts, you do need to train with people
yeah,
for, like we're saying, the real self-defense stuff. If you want to learn to deal with real life stuff as well.
yeah. One of the greatest things I've seen actually teaching online over the past year is I've had students start, and I was doing a lot of solo work with them, and then I try to get them to get partners. So I've actually seen whole families joining in, and the actual
Oh,
family getting closer together because they're
wow.
class every week, and they're or every few days or whatever level they're doing. But I've seen it actually bringing families closer together. Plus, a lot of parents are getting involved because the kids are off school, and this is a little bit of activity they're getting. So it was interesting to see that now.
Yeah, that's fascinating, right? Like there's definitely been sort of the opportunity for people to actually spend time together, like you're saying, families, kids and parents, and getting to train together and see what each other are doing, and that's really cool.
Excellent.
That's super cool.
Excellent. And do you think everybody sort of adapted online now during this pandemic? Do you think that'll continue on once clubs open up again and people start training, that they'll actually have this extra avenue to kind of train through?
Yeah, I definitely think that it's going to continue. I think, like I said, I think if you know, say I did it for this year and I was like, wow, people aren't progressing, it's not working, like it's not working for the students and it's not working for me, then I just say like, no, this is not it. But no, it has, basically it's worked. It has shown that people can progress and keep progressing this way. So I think it's definitely another avenue. And it's going to be here to stay because technology is here to stay and it's going to carry on evolving. So
excellent. And what's your views on grading online or testing people online now? It's quite a controversial topic, but
it's interesting. I mean, I haven't done any yet. I haven't done any grading or testings online as of yet. Yeah, I have to be honest, I'd have to think about that a bit because it's still an important part of people's training, especially at the beginning, because it allows you to have goals. It allows you to get feedback from your teacher to see where you're at. So it's definitely important. Yeah, I haven't actually done it yet, I guess, because it's new territory for me. It's like, and for you as well. And so I haven't actually done any gradings or testings online. I'd have to have a think about it, what I'd really want to see from someone to see that. And I guess again, it depends on where your students are at. Like, did they already have a lot of experience with actual contact? And, you know, what is your aim for each belt? Is your first, you know, like normally a beginner belt is just to get the shape, the structures, and to show that you're coordinated. So stuff like that could probably be done online. The higher level belts, then it's going to be something different, right? Because they need to have shown something more to get to that higher level belt. So I haven't really got to that stage yet, really. I haven't really thought about that, but I will now.
I think a lot of us are the same, but I think because the pandemic's went on so long now, it's kind of getting to the point where we've had students for a year, and you're kind of thinking in normal times they would be testing, and as it's something that would be kind of an option to do online, but it's tricky to work around now. And I mentioned the Up Man films earlier, but have you any other favorite martial arts films, movies?
Yeah, I mean, well, number one is all of Bruce Lee's movies, you know. Yeah, all of Bruce Lee's movies. I also, you know, maybe it's not strictly, it is martial arts, but it's not all about the fighting. Seven Samurai by Kurosawa.
Excellent.
That's, you know, that's a great film. Samurai Rebellion is another great film. And then all Jackie Chan's, all Jet Li's, all these, a lot of old school movies, you know, 36 Chambers of Shaolin, stuff like that. There's so many martial art movies. I mean, in recent times, probably on back has been, you know, Tony Jaa's been the one that's like blew me away again. I was like, whoa, like that. But that's probably more of the most recent sort of martial art movies that I really, really enjoyed.
Excellent. I'm a big Donnie Yen fan now, but it's probably again because of the Ip Man movies, but it's excellent to see that. And I always ask on the show now, I know Cobra K is a big thing in the last 2 years or so, but would you be more of a Cobra K or a Miyagi-Do kind of fella?
Miyagi, I think.
Miyagi. So more of the philosophical, historical side of things?
Yeah, and also more of the sort of, I don't know, for me it feels more of a mythology side to martial arts as well, you know, that coming of age or learning about sort of life. You need a guide, the master.
Excellent. Excellent. And finally, how can people find you online, and hopefully joining your classes and that.
Yeah, people, if they want to come along, I'm teaching. They're free to come out and try out a class. You can find me on lucad.com. It's my website, which is with 2 C's, so LUCCAD.com. You can find me on YouTube with the same name. And yeah, it's probably best if you just jump on my website. You can, if you want to come try out a class, you can get in touch with me there, and you can register there as well.
Excellent. And you also have a great YouTube channel. We'll put all the links in the description there.
Thank you.
So it was a pleasure speaking with you today, Lucca. And
You too,
learning
Sensei.
a little bit more about Wing Chun. Excellently. And thank you. And for the audience there, I'd just like you all recommend you all to go over and check out Lucca's channel. There's a lot of great content on there as well.
Thank you so much.
So,
thank
you.
you.
Now. And all the best, Lucca. Thank you.
Thank you.